What's going on, guys? It's your boy DeadlyPsyko, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm taking a look at Black Ops Cold War's settings, and I'm going to show you guys line by line what settings I have, and I'm going to explain to you guys what they mean so that you can have better settings in your game so that you can perform at a higher level. So let's go ahead and dive into the settings. So we're going to start out in the controller tab, and obviously you're going to be using a controller. So horizontal sensitivity, vertical sensitivity, you guys can choose whatever you like. This is really personal preference. My suggestion and what I use is 8 for both of these. I suggest using 8 because it's a high sensitivity, but it's not ridiculous like 14 or anything. I normally try to go between 8 and 9 depending on how I'm feeling, depending on how cold it is, anything like that. The colder it is and the less my fingers and stuff move or anything like that, I'll bump it down a little bit. But you can always work out your sensitivity and work up higher each level. So play on 3 for a couple hours, then play on 4 for a couple hours, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up. All right, ADS stick sensitivity at low zoom. So at low zoom, this is what your multiplier is going to be. So if you increase this any higher, it's going to make it faster. If you increase or decrease it any lower, it's going to be slower. I recommend leaving this at 1 so you don't get messed up at all. At high zoom, whenever you have a scope or anything, this is what you're going to want to bump down a little bit just so that you can be better at aiming when you're quick scoping or anything like that, so it's not throwing you completely off, because you should already be aiming at somebody before you scope in the first place. So you shouldn't have to you should only have to fine adjust your aim instead of being crazy about it and erratic and drag scoping all over the place. I play on tactical and I play on flipped. You guys can choose those if you want. Invert, vertical, look. I didn't change that. Aim response curve type. So my two favorites are standard and dynamic. So standard, it's going to be the same thing no matter how far you pull the stick. It's going to be the same thing as normal. Linear is when the further you pull the stick, the faster it's going to go. Dynamic is my favorite because it's a kind of a combination of both, and it really just feels like it works better for me. And you need all the help that you can get in Black Ops Cold War. It seems like there's no aim assist at all in the game. There's very little aim assist, it feels like. I always turn off controller vibration because I don't like being distracted. I don't like my aim getting messed up or something shaking in my hands while I'm playing. So that definitely helps my aim and my focus in the game. I definitely like keeping it on for single player games, campaigns, things like that, but definitely not multiplayer. Aim down sights, aim assist. I would freaking, I would leave this enabled, but it's mostly for campaign and zombies. Slow down and strafing aim assist, keep that enabled. Airborne mantle behavior. So if you don't want to be airborne and mantling onto something automatically, change it to manual so that you press the button to mantle. Otherwise, if you're near something, you're going to automatically mantle over it if you jump or anything like that. Grounded mantle behavior, I do on press. Aim down sight behavior, I just do hold for steady aim. And armor behavior, you can choose to apply all your armor plates. I choose to apply one at a time. That way I can exit out of armor plating to fight an enemy if I need to. Aim-based stick layout. So stick layout is, if you want to be southpaw or anything, I keep it on default. Left stick and right stick minimum input threshold. This is your dead zone setting. So if you have any sway in your controller, I would definitely turn this down to 0 and then work your way up to make sure that you don't have any any movement in your stick at all. That way you don't have to that way your controller isn't aiming for you pretty much, or throwing your aim off. The maximum input I would leave at 99 or 100. Controller sounds, definitely disable that. I don't like getting taken out of the game. I like being in the game while I'm playing. Auto move forward, if you want to enable this, that's fine. It's mostly used for the Warzone aspect or possibly Dirty Bomb. Auto sprint, same thing. Sprint behavior, toggle. I like toggling sprint behavior. Sprint cancels reload. This is a very important one. If you want to be able to cancel your reload by sprinting, this is very, very useful. Instead of double tapping triangle or Y or weapon swap canceling, this is very useful for those situations where you have to sprint real quick, pull your weapon up, and start shooting at somebody really fast in the middle of a reload. Very useful. Parachute auto deploy. I would always have this. It's not really something that you need to turn off, just in case, because like if you turn it off, you're probably gonna forget that you have it off, and then you're gonna die a few times. But you'll probably get used to it anyway if you want it like that. Equipment behavior. I keep it on hold. Interact reload behavior. Tap to reload. I leave it on tap to reload. You can change this to whatever you want. But going on into the graphics, I have my own colorblind settings. I don't know if you guys want to copy this, but this is what I use. I prefer this, and you can change your color scheme to whatever you want pretty much. Field of view, this is very important. So if you want to be able to see more of the screen, pull your screen back. So increase or decrease it further. If you want to see less of your screen and be more engaged in a specific area, decrease or increase this number. ADS field of view. So when you're ADS, do you want it to be affected by the friggin' field of view settings, or do you not want it to be affected? I keep it on independent so that when I zoom in, I'll be more focused on what I'm looking at instead of being able to see everything. Keep in mind that if you have a further back field of view, you're going to be able to see a lot more, but it's going to be harder to see little people further in the distance. So you're gonna have a hard time seeing people further away, but you're gonna be able to see a lot more of the screen. But keep in mind, if you have this on 60 or less, you're gonna be able to see people further away, but you're gonna see less of your screen. Motion blur, definitely disable this so it's not screwing you up at all, and you can make sure that you can see everything without being blurry. Audio settings, these are very important. I always disable music volume so I'm not hearing the music for copyright reasons and stuff like that. But sound effects volume, I turn this down a little bit so that I'm not hearing all kinds of craziness, explosions, all kinds of shit. Same with cinematics volumes. Same with the cinematics volume. I don't like hearing all this stuff like super loud or anything. I like to use a headset, and I like to sound whore. So my audio preset is on high boost so I can hear all the footsteps even better than normal. Hit marker sound effects, I leave that enabled. Voice chat, leave that enabled. Game chat. Voice chat volume. So if you want to be able to hear your teammates, then increase this. If you can't hear them, increase this. So I'm going to bump this up to 1.4 because it's been a little bit low lately. Open mic sensitivity. So if you're trying to talk over your mic and this is too high, nobody's going to be able to hear you. If you've got it too low, they're going to be able to hear your friggin' cat jumping across the room like friggin' 3 rooms away. So keep this in a moderately high, moderately low area, somewhere in between so that they can hear you. Microphone volume, this is how loud they're going to hear you over your mic. Interface tab. You can pretty much leave all these the same. There's not really much that you need to change. If you want to, you can. I abbreviate players' names, and that's pretty much all I have changed in here. Keyboard and mouse, if you have a keyboard and mouse and want to play with that, you can change, remap anything that you want in here. And that's pretty much it for this video. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want me to get more specific about something in these settings, let me know down in the comments below. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. Taking that crown from you. I ain't worried about you, I ain't never. So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. Taking that crown from you. I ain't worried about you, I ain't here to make friends. Yeah. I ain't never slowing down, keep on going till I'm found. No, I'm never slowing down cause we're blowing up now.